So the last part of this PD that I want to go over with you is how the heck you schedule all of this, especially if you found after you assessed that you had like five different groups, right? You had kids that were maybe in the letter sound group. You had some kids that were in the beginning of within word, some kids that were in the middle of within word, some kids that were at the end of within word. Maybe you have the syllables and affixes group. So how do you schedule all of this and get this done? I really love this idea that Pearson came up with, because the way that you do it is you're only really having one group a day. So if you're thinking about 5 days, that over the course of 5 days, you would be meeting with a different group each day. So if you take a look, group A is, let's say one group, and you would model a sort. While you are modeling a new sort, Group B and Group C would be doing some practice sorting from their last week's sort. So let's just say that you start this next week. You would meet with Group A and you would model a sort. The rest of the kids would be doing something else because you haven't done it yet. And then on day 2, the kids would pick a sort from the document that you just made in the last activity that you just did in this PD, right? You made that schedule. Hopefully the first one was a written sort. So on day 2, Group A is doing a written sort, and you're meeting with Group B. And then on day 3, you are meeting with Group C. Group B is doing a written sort. Group C or Group A is doing a manual sort, right? And if you have a fourth group, you would imagine that you would be meeting with Group D on day 4, and the other 3 groups would be doing their respective sorts. So it would be Group A you would meet with on day 1, Group B you would be meeting with day 2, and Group A would be doing a sort. Group C you would be meeting with on day 3. Group B would be doing their written sort. Group A would be doing their manual sort. Group D would be on day 4, and Group C, B, and A would be doing their respective sorts. Group C would be doing their written sort. Group B would be doing their manual sort, and maybe Group A is now playing a game or going out into the world to find actual words that follow the study patterns that they have. If you have a group E, then day 5 you would do that, while group D, C, B, and A were doing their sorts while you have a group in front of you. Once you get all of those groups done, you come back around to group A. So I would give an assessment for group A, and then I would introduce a new list. And while I am giving the assessment and introducing a new list to group A, group B, C, D, and E are still doing their sorts from the last week's sort. And so they don't need one yet. And then you would send A off on the next day to do their first sort, and you would meet with group B, do an assessment, introduce a new list, and so on and so forth. Now, some teachers give an assessment at a completely different time of day. So maybe they pull group A during win time, and they say, I'm going to give you an assessment. And, they pull group B during another day's win time after they've had their sort for 4 or 5 days and give an assessment. That kind of stuff is up to you, but I do like this rotating schedule where you're only meeting with one group each day, and the other groups are working on their sorts, and that seems to work fairly well. Um, the other thing that some teachers do is they say, I'm going to make Monday my word study day, where I am going to meet with every group on Monday. So maybe I meet with those groups during reading workshop. So my reading workshop on Monday is my word study day, where I'm going to give pull my groups and I'm going to give everybody their introduction of their sort. And then everybody, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5 are doing the same exact work, maybe with just different words. So day 2, you give them 10 minutes to do a written sort. Day 3, you give them 10 minutes to do a manual sort. Day 4, everybody gets 10 minutes to go out into the world to find actual words that meet their criteria. Day 5, everyone's playing a game. And then day 6, everyone takes the assessment. That's another way to do it as well. You could actually do it in writing workshop if you wanted, that every Monday in writing workshop during independent writing time, you're going to do your groups. It could be a snack time thing. So I've done that before as a fourth grade teacher where um, snack time on Mondays and Tuesdays were words their way days. So snack time, I would do Mondays would be AB kids get their sorts. And then on Tuesday, the CD kids get their sorts, and AB during snack is doing their sort work. And then, B or CD kids are doing the sorts the next day, and I pull ABs again. So it's just really how you play with this. But all you need, and studies show that you don't need more than 10 to 15 minutes a day to have these kids practice and do the words their way work. So your last and final activity for this PD is to decide what's your schedule going to look, and actually make a schedule and link it into that document that you're currently working on.